Recent headlines in the US have focused on a major influx of undocumented immigrants crossing our southern border with Mexico. Many of them children either traveling alone or with single mothers seeking refuge. According to Homeland Security, some 52,000 children have arrived on the US-Mexico border since October of the last year, most coming from Central American countries including Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, looking to escape the upsurge in the violence and destruction threatening those countries.
To others, it's the train of death. But to all these illegal migrants, it's a free ride bound for their American dream of washing dishes, picking lettuce, or carrying bricks.
We work under the sun and all that thing over there. No, if you're born over there, your life is gonna be different. You're gonna work in the office, go to a nice high school, go to a nice college, you know. But I don't think we're stealing their money or their jobs, you know.
Like Elvin, most aboard are from Central American countries like Guatemala and Honduras. They'll spend days clinging to cargo trains as they grind through southern Mexico up toward the US border. Human rights groups estimate thousands have died falling from trains like this, some of them mutilated under its wheels. En route to the US border, many more have been robbed, raped, and kidnapped. The Mexican authorities do little to prevent them riding or to deter gangs from preying on them. So when I caught up with this group of migrants at a free hostel in southern Mexico, I wondered why they were ready to sacrifice so much.
The American dream is a really American dream, because you can make money and live better. Help your people over here.
Elvin once worked in the US before being jailed on a drug and drunk driving charge and later deported.
And I want to do the things right this time, and I don't want to get in trouble again. Yeah, we're trying to. I don't think I'm a bad person. I just like to drink sometimes, make mistakes like every single person in the world, you know.
A card game to kill the hours before the train pulls out. Antonio has also lived in the States. In the US, he can earn more in a day than in a whole week back home. He proudly tells me he was Employee of the Year at an Applebee's restaurant in Michigan.
Me sentía bien porque hasta hay una plaqueta en la entrada.
They put up a plaque in the lobby. There was only one Hispanic name up there, and it was mine.
Pequeño de tamaño, sus sueños y su anhelo era ser un abogado. Vivía en una casa pobre sin amor y sin cariño.
Greville from Honduras is a first-timer. He's traveling alone, but makes new friends with witty raps about his tough upbringing.
La gente que ha venido me cuenta bonitas cosas.
I've heard people saying nice things about America, like it's another world. So I want to see for myself and try my luck.
By next morning, hope has become apprehension as they wait by the tracks. Some smoke a marijuana joint to calm their nerves. Elvin's stony-faced, and Greville has just seen the beast for the first time.
Estoy asustado por la agarrada del tren, güey.
He says he's frightened to jump on the train. I scramble onto the train. I tie myself on for safety. I got off at an unscheduled stop a few hours later, but I heard the train arrived without incident in the town of Ixtepec. It's been a tough 12-hour ride to get here, but the migrants still face as many more days of travel to get to the US border. A few nights later, another group of migrants who boarded the train of death were not so lucky. The train pulled out around midnight. When I caught up with it at first light, there was clearly something wrong. Only a handful of people were still aboard. As they straggled into this migrant hostel in Ixtepec, they claimed about 60 federal police and a heavily armed civilian gang had held up the train.
No, solo que bajaran putos.
They began pulling people off the train and they fired 2 shots. We ran to escape, but they grabbed a lot of people.
The migrants believe as many as 100 of their fellow travelers were kidnapped, including this man's sister.
Lo que pensé, que hasta ahí habíamos llegado, pues era el final ya.
I thought this is as far as I go. I thought that this was the end. I was thinking about how to escape because I didn't know whether they were police or kidnappers.
Father Alejandro Solalinde has been giving migrants a free meal and a bed at this hostel for the last 5 years. Bitter experience tells him they will press on despite the risks, rather than go home to poverty.
Yo observo a los migrantes ese éxodo interminable.
This is an interminable exodus. It never ends. But I'm sure they're going to make history. They're going to rebuild America.
But before they make that history or achieve their own more modest dreams, these poor migrants must first survive the trap of death.
This is only the latest influx of undocumented illegal immigrants from the South that have looked to the US for the shelter for economic and/or violent social oppression in their homelands. While the details may vary, the problem of illegal immigration is not limited solely to the United States, but is in fact a global problem that requires a far more comprehensive approach than we or any other nation is taking.